you're in the Discord, though, you're only going to hear my side of the conversation. Hell, are you here to debate?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, what's your name, age, and pronouns?
Some dude, 25, he, him.
Okay, what are you here to debate about?
The communism idea, that it is better than capitalism. And do you believe, just a question, you can answer it or not, do you believe communism is the ideal standard for a government?
Uh, I don't understand the question because communism is an economic system.
Yes, but it also obviously overtakes the government.
How
Same
so?
with capitalism. Like, if you are in the United States, we are a democracy, but we are under capitalism. There's not
Sure,
many,
sure, sure. But then I
you
would
know what
just
I
say,
mean?
yeah. If I believe communism to be better than capitalism, then the answer to that question would be yes.
Okay. So, just in my opinion, history has told me that when it comes to the two biggest powers from, let's just say, 1950 to 1980, they were obviously the USSR and the United States of America. How, in that argument, could you say that communism, the side that had economic stagnation, was better than capitalism, which surpassed communism in terms
What
of
metrics?
economic
First of all,
growth?
the USSR was a socialist country; they weren't communist. But what metrics are you trying to analyze this by? If we're looking at like innovation, the USSR innovated
Oh,
and
yeah.
industrialized quicker than any nation before. If we're looking at
Yep.
like
Sputnik.
who advanced more, the USSR beat us to space, right? We still use inventions created by the USSR today. What metrics are we looking at here?
Well, if we're going to use that argument, you could also go to, bad mustache guy, but I digress. My metrics are GDP.
Why would I be analyzing GDP when communism historically doesn't have markets? So why would I be analyzing if communism is successful by the metric of a market?
Because if you're not bringing in a lot of capital
There is
or
no capital
assets,
under communism, so I don't understand the.
well, let's just use assets then instead of capital
Uh huh.
into your country is going to have a lot less political, economic, and military power over others. And when you have such a large landmass like the USSR did, and you have a system in communism that's not able to bring in these assets, what happens?
Sorry, would you be able to just tell me what communism is? I think we might be using different definitions of
No
this word as we're
deflections.
talking. It's not a
What
deflection.
happens? No, no, no. You definitely deflected that because I
I'm
said what
sorry. I'm
happens
sorry.
when you ask what
I
communism
just
is.
said it
Come
appears by the
on,
way
man.
I just said it appears by the way that we're chatting that we're using two different definitions of this word. So I asked you to define the word so that we're under the same understanding
Oh
of what
my
we're
god.
talking about. If you can't do it, just say you can't do it.
Oh my god. That was
Okay, I'm going to
that
assume
was
you
the
can't do it.
funniest thing ever.
Great. I'm
I
going to assume
can't.
you can't. So do
Yeah,
it.
I can't. Yeah, you deflect it more.
So do
Run
it.
away, baby.
Is this a
No.
joke?
Why don't you answer my question first?
Because
Why
again,
did the
it seems
USSR
like we have
fall?
it. The USSR fell because of the U.S. intervention. The U.S. intervened in the USSR before they were even fully developed as a country. Do you not
Uh
know
huh.
this? Do you not know this?
Come on, man.
I'm sorry. What did the U.S. do immediately after the Bolshevik Revolution?
What did I say about assets?
What? Okay, now you're deflecting.
Do you remember?
Now you're deflecting.
I'm staying on the question I asked
No, the
first because
question you asked was why did the USSR fall, which is the question I'm answering.
no, that's not what I
You
asked. I
want to bet? You
said,
want to
did
bet me money?
assets have to
You want to
do
bet
with?
me money? You want to bet me money? You
I
didn't just
said,
ask why the USSR fell. You want to bet me
I
$20 on that?
said, with
I'll play the
assets.
tape. I'll
Yeah,
replay the
I'll
tape.
I'll send
I'll
you 20
literally
bucks.
replay the
Yeah.
tape. You
All right.
just said why did the USSR fall? So I'm explaining why the USSR fell.
Okay. You have to go back 30 seconds at least before that. Then.
No, because that's the question you asked that I'm answering. You pivoted
No.
to a
Why
new
not? Why
question.
won't you say
Because
no?
you
Why would
pivoted
you
to a
say
new
no to
question.
that?
I'm not going to continue the conversation if you can't define communism. That's this end of discussion.
So keep deflecting. That's fine.
Can you define it? Yes or no?
Communism is where you have all the labor, in my opinion, right? What is the definition of communism? I know it.
There we go. Exactly. This is what I'm fucking talking about. You don't know what it is, and we're trying to. Yeah, no, you don't know what it fucking is, dog. How can you say? How can you say capitalism is better, but you don't know what communism is? Yeah, you're an idiot.
You have to deflect on the assets.
You're an idiot. You just didn't know what it is.
I'm an idiot, but
that's what it was. Yeah, you didn't know what it is. Yeah. Yep. You didn't know what communism was. Yep.
I guess we're both
Thank you for proving my point.
Answer my question.
You didn't know what communism. Because your question doesn't make sense because you don't know what communism is. So your question fundamentally is flawed. It's like asking somebody, "Hey, why is that red fire truck blue?" Your question doesn't work because you don't understand the fundamentals of what communism is, and you proved you don't because you can't define it.
So you couldn't answer the assets question
because it doesn't. Because it's a question that doesn't work.
Could you answer that?
It's a question that's flawed. It's a flawed question. Literally a flawed question.
Okay, could you answer my question then?
No, I can't answer a flawed question.
You can answer mine.
Because I know the definition. I can't tell you why things fall up because the question is flawed. Things don't fall up.
Right from Karl Marx advocating class war and leading to a society which all property is publicly owned and each person works and paid accordingly. And I'm doing this while walking on a treadmill.
Yes, I know you.
And you obviously see my TikTok live is not on there.
I know you had to Google it because you didn't know it.
So I didn't even Google it. I'm on a treadmill right now.
Yes, you did Google it.
But again,
you did Google it. You read the exact definition from Google, my guy. You read the exact definition.
Maybe because you're like the 30th person to ask me.
Because you didn't know. Because your question is flawed. It didn't work. The reason the USSR fell is not because of assets. It fell because it was targeted from the inside out by the US since its inception.
And then here's the definition
I don't care about you walking.
Political theory derived from Karl Marx advocating class war and leading to a society in which
it doesn't advocate class war.
Yeah, so answer my question.
It doesn't advocate class war.
Okay, answer my question.
I already did. It didn't fall because of assets. It didn't fall because of assets. That's a complete answer to your question. End of story. It didn't fall because of assets.
Who had more assets during that time? The United States or the Soviet Union?
It did not fall because of assets. So I don't care who had more. That's not the reason the USSR fell.
How many assets, GDP-wise?
It's not a definition. I'm not even asking a definition. What are you talking about?
Well, what's the definition you're asking for again?
I'm not asking any definitions. I said it did not fall due to assets.
So then why do you say that's not a definition?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to you because you're not making any sense.
What are you talking about?
You keep going.
I can't wait to play this. I can't wait to play this fucking tape back, bro.
What are you talking about, man? I'm not deflecting.
You're just saying shit that I didn't say. You're saying shit I didn't say. I can't wait to play this tape back. It's gonna be so fucking hilarious.
Okay, play it back.
Are you done? Are you done? I don't need to talk to people that are disingenuous. Are you finished?
I'm waiting for you to take the.
Are you finished?
Play the tape back.
Are you finished?
Yes, I am finished.
Great.
Play the tape back.
Why are you going to come in and try to have a conversation you don't know what the fuck you're talking about? Please. That's why he didn't want to answer, because he didn't fucking know. Anyway, the USSR fell because of consistent U.S. interference. That's why I brought up the fact that at the start of the USSR, the United States, well, I was going to bring it up, but he didn't want to have the conversation because he was terrified. At the start of the USSR, the United States sent in 13,000 troops into Russia and they just like mass killed a bunch of people. Why did they do this? Because they knew that the USSR was forming. They knew that the USSR was going to move or try to move towards a communist system, and the US didn't want that. So the US had been consistently pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. It's kind of what it does. So again, it had nothing to do with assets. It's quite literally a nonsense talking point.